Title of this one is called Terrible Day for Weirdo Anime Tourists. Hero Hei, give it to me. Is it a bunch of people crying about lolicon stuff? What's going on?
People hate these fake fans, these anime tourists. If you don't know what this means, basically someone who fairly recently got into anime, maybe over lockdown, but specifically comes to the anime community and starts complaining about everything being problematic and whining about blah, blah, blah. This is offensive and this needs to be changed. And
what is a tourist? Literally what it sounds like. Somebody that is on vacation, that is going to different places that they're not really, they don't know about. New people coming to the anime fandom, and rather than respecting the culture of the place that you're visiting, they inject their ideology, they inject their standards upon a community that just does not give a fuck about them.
All the super really lame stuff. Basically, imagine a combination of a Twitter cop and a new anime fan. That's essentially what creates a tourist. So yeah, tourist does not simply mean that you're new to watching anime. It's that combination of stuff essentially that we...
Like, you can be a healthy tourist, right? I think the word tourist is, like, you can be a healthy tourist or you can be a negative tourist. The tourist in this context, though, whenever you call someone a tourist, though, there's a negative connotation with that, right? So clearly this is the negative type.
Went over. And so over the last 24 hours or so, the tourists have been getting absolutely destroyed by the real fans over on Twitter. With all that context.
That's right, baby. Getting absolutely dunked on Twitter is the most important thing. I think that, like, it's all silly to me at the end of the day, right? It's just fucking random people just saying shit online on Twitter and see who gets the most likes. More points, right? More internet points means better take.
Let's take a look. So it essentially all started with people getting offended at the word waifu, which is obviously a real...
I know way. You gotta get mad at the term waifu. Maybe like someone used the term waifu onto a character, a female character that is like a lolly, and they're like, oh my god, you are disgusting, you want to wife that girl up. It's like, whoa, chill.
Really stupid thing to get offended by. Rock Solid making a tweet in response to one of the offended people saying COVID has been a disaster on otaku culture, which goes back to what I said earlier.
Let's see. Coach, Nyachu support fire. Coach says go left. We should eliminate otaku. Okay, we gotta read the inner tweet too. This has been a disaster on otaku culture. We should eliminate otaku as a concept. It's holding anime as a medium back. There could be a lot of nuanced take with this. It's interesting that the anime, basically Japan caters a lot to its domestic audience, right? And you'll notice that a lot of animes really pander towards the whole otaku aesthetic, right? The loners, the neats, the people who are just really into just like anime weeb shit. But I'm not too sure about holding the medium back.
Which goes back to what I said earlier about the proliferation of these tourists occurring around the lockdown period, which also reminds me of back then when Tectone would make all these tweets about like Genshin waifus, and they would just...
He called Cleo waifu, and then everything broke loose. I remember that, bro. Bro, that shit was like a dynamite that went off.
There'd be like infinite seething in the responses, people getting so mad at him for using that term. Anyways, Rock Solid then got this response that talks about wanting to eliminate the word otaku as a concept, saying that it's holding anime back. Okay. And the responses are filled with people saying that, no, actually tourists should be eliminated from the anime community.
It's a very nuanced take, right? I think that otaku's holding anime back, there's a partial truth there. Eliminate is very extreme. But what is the partial truth in holding it back? I think that a lot of anime is very unappealing to a lot of people who hasn't even found anime yet, right? And now we're talking about a broader audience that you could assume to be tourists, right? Does the anime community even need to have outreach on that audience? That's a different topic entirely. But in terms of business, you don't want to isolate your market. You don't want to have a stagnant pool that just continues to dry up. You need a healthy balance of new people coming in and having retention, right? Rather than just having a closed off, population that eventually dwindles down. Because if that happens, then it's pretty much done, right? So with that being said, it kind of is a good idea to try to, expand from your regular repertoire and try to hit different audiences. And who are that audiences? The audiences that are very weirded out by the traditional anime stuff, right? The otaku culture. All the cringe tropes and cliches that you see in anime, all the things that you wouldn't really be proud to say it in public, right? Like, how the fuck do you try to make gushing over magical girls look good to a bunch of normies? You know what I mean? That is really hard to do. So if you come from that perspective, you definitely could argue that the otaku culture is holding anime back because there's a whole broader market out there who won't even touch anime because of the otaku culture stuff. But here's the other thing. You need to have a delicate balance of preserving the existing community, preserving the existing culture, and bringing new people in. If you have new people just running down mid, and you let these tourists dictate the morals, the ethics, the themes, portrayed in anime, you suddenly lose everything that you had in the beginning. So again, this is a very nuanced take. You can't just be like this good, this bad. Tourists get owned, or tourist is right. It's just like, what is the goal here? Are you trying to expand anime to a broader audience? And if so, don't you think that maybe we should try to have a little bit different types of anime rather than the weeb shit that turns them off? You know what I'm saying?
It's the tourists that are really holding things back. So I guess we know that tourists are not only offended at the word waifu, but also otaku. Septonic then making this tweet with over 10,000 likes that reads, "They got really mad at me for this one."
Actually, hold up. Is there any other tweets before? We should eliminate tourists from you being able to talk at the table overall. Effing hate losers that want to ruin and changing fandoms instead of leaving them since they don't suit you. And this is correct too. Like, imagine like your house. This is like your country. This is your place. And a bunch of new people come in and say, "Oh, we don't like the way that you do stuff over here. You have to adhere to our, specific, interest." That's fucking annoying, right? That's when you're a rude tourist. When you come to, when you go to, a new place, you need to respect their culture. Whether or not you agree or disagree, you are in their land. You should respect their culture. No. Why would you eliminate the concept that defines people who are the most supportive of it? This is retarded. Absolutely, right? Well, otaku here, it's by the Google definition, a Japanese word that describes people with consuming interest, particularly in anime, manga, video games, and computer. This is a very nice. This is a very, what's the word? A euphemism? Basically, rather than calling someone janitor, you call them a custodian, right? It's like a better way to kind of like say it. Otaku in definition, I think, has a very negative connotation with it. Like, it's like the socially inept, unable to fit into society, degenerate, kind of populace that consumes the content is my interpretation of otaku. I could be wrong, but I think I even reacted to a video that was separating what a weeb is versus otaku. But again, the thing that I noticed in these threads is that everyone is so extreme. One person immediately says, we should eliminate otaku. Like, bro, this take could be reasonable if you just don't say eliminate. Holding anime as a medium back again of what I said about, do you want just a stagnant pool or do you want an expanding audience that's carefully preserving its themes? If the latter is what you want, you can't eliminate it. You need to accommodate the new people coming in, but also keep the original stuff. So you can't just eliminate. But notice how there is some partial truth here. But then the threads then also is so extreme. There's no like conversation. This is the thing on Twitter. There can never be actual conversation and dialogue. Everyone is just trying to dunk on each other with the most fucking extreme take. So nothing is going to happen from this. But again, this is a very nuanced thing. You shouldn't just immediately say, haha, tourist, banned, get dunked. But think of like, does this make sense? And I think it does make sense to an extent, but the eliminate is a very retarded take. And that's going to hold you back from having an actual conversation with other people. That's like, you could have just been, coming in the way that I said and be like, do you want new people coming in? And a lot of people are going to say no. Because a lot of the new people coming in are usually fucking people that's so obsessed with trying to change the otaku culture. So you got to meet halfway.
Offended at the word waifu, but also otaku. Septonic then making this tweet with over 10,000 likes that reads, "They got really mad at me for this one," reposting this image that says,
Okay.
How to spot an anime tourist. Only watches Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, and other common anime shows.
That wasn't me when I was a child, though. Like the Battle Shonen Unga Bunga. Do you. Okay. If there is the anime viewer that only watches Battle Shonen, but has been watching anime since the 90s, let's say they watched all of Dragon Ball, they watched all Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, they watched Hunter x Hunter, they moved on to My Hero Academia, they watched Jujutsu Kaisen, and so on and so forth. Would you consider them to be an anime tourist? I don't think so, right? That's just a shonen battle tard, right? They only care about one specific genre and are sticking to it. It's just a hardcore one-trick pony. I don't really think that's a tourist, but like basically this could be tourist behavior, right? Where I think a lot of tourists definitely enjoy dandadan, right? Like whenever like Attack on Titan or whatever, like whenever like rather than being like basically you're a tourist if you're not a seasonal anime watcher. You know what I'm saying? If you only watch anime just because someone's talking about it because they want so mainstream or widespread like dandadan, then maybe are you a tourist? Like, if you're not watching all these shitty ass fucking isekais that's being pumped out like us, does that mean that, you're a tourist? I don't know.
Only likes anime because it's trendy, will join the anime fandom for the sake of policing others in the community.
This behavior is fucking annoying. But I don't think that this is exclusive to tourists, right? I think a lot of hardcore people, right, in any community, they have like a power control stuff, right? I think some people that exist in the OG like veteran anime people, like it's basically just like the Discord mod or like the Reddit mods. But yeah, new people coming in, not respecting the existing culture and just calling things like, oh, this is offensive, this isn't the way it should be. Very annoying tourist behavior.
Berates you for liking something they don't like. Thinks fan service is sexist and drawings equate to real life issues.
This take though, this is so common. I feel like berate you for liking something they don't like. Like obviously, it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, but there's a lot of different things here that I think, applies to existing anime fans. But this shit is so often true, right? These two right over here will join the fandom for the sake of policing others. Thinks fan service is sexist and drawing equate to real life issues. Like, I see that shit all the time with normies coming in as they, see lollies, right? They're absolutely shocked. They're shocked at the anime depiction of fan service onto characters, which their body types and proportions, it makes them weirded out. Because, I mean, when you see Milim in a thong, right? If you see Milim in a G-string, right? Let's just be objectively serious for now. Are you shocked that brand new people that's never seen anime, right, sees the body type of like a middle school girl just in an outfit that just makes no sense? Are you surprised? You know what I mean? I'm not surprised. And that's one of the things that I just turn a blind eye to because that's the anime Japanese culture. And there's nothing I can do about that. I just kind of live with it. It just kind of exists. But it's really hard to try to, recommend these shows to a lot of other people when they see this and be like, what the fuck are you watching? Now, there's going to be some people that are into it, and that's kind of sus. Where they're like, oh shit, who is this character? Oh, that's Milim? All right, I'll watch Tensor just because of that girl. At that point, that might be a red flag. Maybe it's a very enlightened flag. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? It sounds like they would get along great with those weirdo Twitter feminists that we were talking about yesterday. The ones who were all offended over that Japanese anime style ad. Huh. And then there was this tweet with over 48,000 likes talking about all of this recent tourist stuff that says, anime fans are seen as weirdos, make our own subculture for ourselves. Normies during pandemic realize anime is actually amazing, joins our culture, tries to kick us out of our own spaces we built when they kicked us out of the normie space to begin with.
True. Right? In the past, right? Anime still like it's just not broadly accepted. You're kind of like seen as like an outsider. You're seen as like a weirdo if you enjoy these Japanese cartoons. So a lot of them kind of band together in online spaces to, create this community where they can enjoy anime together. And now all these normies are coming in and breaking down everything that, they've established. How would you feel about that, man?
where do we go? I would humbly make a correction to the last point there, because anime fans were never trying to like take anime into the normie space to begin with. It's basically like,
it's just corporations. True. The consumers in the anime existing fandoms, they never care about that. They're just kind of existing in their own space and watching. But obviously the corporations, right? They're trying to make more money. They're trying to, you know, have anime be more widespread and, you know, mainstream appealing. And if you have anime's projects that does end up doing that, you're going to have an influx of new people coming in. That's going to be weirded out by the subculture that's already been established.
like anime fans made their own space, and then the normies tried to invade it, which, to be fair, the rest of the tweet does talk about. As for the question, where do we go? Nowhere.
You fight. You stand on business and you filter out the tourists.
The actual fans are still winning because they get to enjoy the medium more thoroughly. All these fake people are getting offended by everything and crying left and right. The tourist essentially has a losing proposition to begin with, because all they do is look for the next thing to get offended by and then make some sort of tweet desperately trying to get clout. And obviously that doesn't really amount to much of anything at all. They've pretty much already lost, in other words. We can see another example of this in the Western localizer stuff that's been going on, with more and more of these weirdos getting replaced by Japanese companies who prefer using machine translations.
That's the thing, man. It's so sad. Because, like, bro, people, like voice actors and stuff, there's a big movement right now of people being less empathetic to human beings losing jobs to AI and people supporting AI. Because in the beginning, it's like, oh no, our jobs are being taken away, you know, and, you know, you can definitely have the empathy to say, man, that sucks, right? Like, that's crazy. It's coming for all of us, but, you know, we support you. But when these motherfuckers are trying to establish their own agenda, when these localizers and subs are suddenly being changed from the original source material and the way the author meant to portray it, due to their own ideology, now they're getting replaced by technology, and now people are just dunking on them. And you know what? I also agree. Like, shit. Like AI subs are just doing a better job. Why the fuck do I want, you know, someone with like pink blue hair trying to inject Western ideology into anime that has no place to be? It's so sad. Like, they are their own downfall. If they just did their job as faithfully as they could, I don't think many people would be in favor of, you know, this technology. But because they basically shot themselves in their own foot, the masses are saying, hey, let's go AI, take them over
the localizers. So yeah, this was just a quick discussion on all this tourist stuff. I definitely think the anime community was better before it got so mainstream, and the mainstream stuff has brought a lot of terrible things for the community, such as all these tourist posers, and even like corrupt Western companies trying to leech money off the industry. But despite that, I also think that the real fans are still winning. Let me know what you think in the comments.
It's just funny when we're talking about, we're winning, they're losing. What are we winning, brother? just a bunch of fucking random tweets and a couple fucking likes on Twitter of all places. But what's the goal? We gotta deport these tourists, man. The anime fandom gotta put their foot down and deport these illegal immigrants coming in, trying to change our culture. You gotta stand on ground and fight for what's yours. But at the end of the day, it's really not that serious. Please go check out Hero Hei's channel. Here's the link to the video. Please go give it a like. I'll see you next time.